Hi, friends. Happy full moon. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a fabulous practice. I'm so excited to offer you some Kundalini in this full moon practice. If you're not familiar with Kundalini, I'll talk about it as we get settled in. But first, all we'll need for tonight's practice is a blanket probably, and maybe a block. That's about it. We don't need a lot of props for tonight. So go ahead and gather those up, a blanket and a block. I won't spend too much time talking tonight. I posted another video on both on my YouTube channel and my Facebook group, the Awakened Yoga Collective, talking about the energies of this full moon. If you haven't found that, I'll put a link in the description so you can link to it. You can hear all about what the full moon is about. But tonight I want to just kind of get on our mats and get moving. Welcome. We need a blanket and a block. So let's go ahead and settle in. I have a blanket here to sit on as we get started. I'm so glad you're here. Let me know, leave a comment, give me a like or a thumbs up to let me know that you are practicing with me this evening. Welcome to the full moon in Aquarius. I'm so glad you're here. So let's begin by coming to a comfortable seated position. Just settling into our bodies, letting our eyes close. And this practice will be Kundalini-esque. So there will be a few things that aren't necessarily a Kundalini practice, but it will have the structure and the energy of that divine feminine flow to harness the energy of this full moon in Aquarius, the Sturgeon moon. And so as we begin, I invite you to maybe simply place the left hand on the heart, the right hand on the belly, just feeling the movement of the breath. Or if you want to find a mudra, I invite you to bring in lotus mudra. And so we start with hands together and then just pop open the fingers. We can have this seated at our heart. Forearms come together with the thumbs on the third eye, hands to the throat, whatever feels good today. Maybe we don't want that mudra, we want something else. And when we feel ready, just gently soften the gaze or close the eyes and feel the breath. Let the breath lengthen for a moment. And welcome in this full moon energy, this energy of release. This full moon in Aquarius is about our place in the collective. So open your awareness to the collective, to all of us here this evening, practicing together, honoring the full moon energy. Feel free to maintain that mudra with our hands or release and just continue with the breath. And a mantra that I will offer for you this evening is, I am the innovator of change and progress. I am the innovator of change and progress. My creativity flows boundlessly, and I ignite change and progress effortlessly. My creativity flows boundlessly, and I ignite change and progress effortlessly. I am the innovator of change and progress. My creativity flows boundlessly, and I ignite that change and progress effortlessly. Just another moment right here. Already feeling the unraveling of that which no longer serves us. The evolution of our own existence as well as the greater collective. Breathing into this newness, this space that is being created as we release. Let's all take a breath together. Let's inhale. Exhale. Gently blink the eyes open. And we'll move into our practice. So with Kundalini, we often do postures for a set amount of time. Tonight, it will be about 2 minutes for the most part. And the first posture that we will do brings us into cactus arms. So 90-degree angles here, elbows in line with shoulders, wrists over elbows. Options to keep the palms open with elbows by the ribs if that feels better, or always take the hands to the heart. Those are all great options. Good. From here, we begin to move with the breath. As we inhale, we twist to the left. As we exhale, we twist to the right. And we just continue this motion. So we are simply revving up our engine here, building that energy, that Kundalini rising energy that is latent in the pelvis and that bowl of our pelvis that is dormant often. And so as we start to bring movement in, we start to bring awakening, awareness, light. This is a slow, steady movement. We don't need to rush. There's no race. And the breath leads the way. This 90-degree angle charges up our nervous system. It charges up our ability to hear and see clearly. This 90-degree angle creates a framework for that throat chakra, for that third eye center, that crown, and the heart. Continue to follow the breath. We're almost there. On the next inhale, we come to center, reach the arms overhead, hold the breath, let the thumbs connect, pause with the breath retained. Exhale, release. Take a moment and breathe right here. Notice the body already. Kundalini gives us the opportunity to shift our awareness, and that is what is most needed right now, as this full moon is asking us to examine our place in the collective and decide if we are ready to move forward or beyond. So let's go ahead and take our legs out into a little bit of a straddle. It doesn't have to be super wide. And we'll tuck our right leg in. So feel free to support that knee, support the hips, whatever feels good. Turn towards that left foot. And as we inhale, our arms reach overhead. Option to hook the thumbs and pull against them. Inhaling here. Exhaling, reaching towards those toes. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, reach the heart towards the toes. We do not have to touch the toes. We want to feel this sense of energy moving upwards and outwards. Belly stays in. Legs are active. And so think of it less as a forward fold, as more of an extension towards the front of your mat. Again, this is not a race, and hands can always be at the heart, or hands can be on the floor, whatever feels best to you. So many good options here. My teacher, Guru Singh, always says, we do what we can do, and we're happy with that. I embrace that. Upwards and outwards. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Take both legs straight. Take just one breath here. And we'll move to the other side. So again, support that left knee. The right leg is extended. We turn to face that right foot. And we begin again. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, reach forward. Slow and steady. If the thumbs are hooked, switch them as we move to this side. I forgot to say that earlier. It'll feel awkward and you may not have as much strength to pull against them, but just play with that. See what feels good to you. Slow and steady. It's not a race. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Take both legs straight. Let the hands rest in the lap for a moment. Breathe here. The breath continues to move. And then we will make our way to stand. Finding mountain pose, maybe with our feet a little bit wider apart. Hands come to our hips. And we just start to make circles with the hips. So finding that bowl of the pelvis again and bringing movement and fluidity in. Remembering that Kundalini energy lies in the bowl of our pelvis. And so we are simply stirring that bowl and finding fluidity and expression. Our emotions also reside in our hips. So we are just loosening things up a little bit, getting things moving so we have clarity and maybe a shift in awareness. So notice how my feet and my head and shoulders are fairly stationary. I'm not moving my whole body here. Try and make this movement with the hips. And yes, we are still going in that first direction. And now we get to switch directions. So circle the hips the opposite way. There will probably be one that is more comfortable than the other. This one I have to think about a little bit more. Make sure the knees are unlocked. Almost there. Notice what arises as we do this. What thoughts do we have? What stories do we tell? What do we notice? Almost there. And then come to center. Keep the feet grounded. Let the hands release. Feel the lift of the heart and the lift through the crown of the head. Breathe right here, just noticing. And then release, come back to mountain pose. So our next flow requires a little bit of balance and a little bit of concentration. I'm going to show you what we do first, and then we'll walk through it because I want us to flow through. We'll do one side at a time here. So as we inhale, we lift the knee. I'm just going to show you to begin with. Exhale, step back and twist. You might have done this before with me. I love this flow. Inhale to center. Exhale, cross and twist. So my weight is still on the standing foot, but I'm going to just look the opposite way. So we're crossing the leg in front as we twist away from the foot, and then we're crossing the leg in back as we twist towards the foot. Does that make sense? So it'll look like this. Exhale, inhale, exhale. So that's going to be what we do. One side at a time. We will begin with our left foot. So find balance, maybe find a drishti, something that isn't going to move. I will move, I guarantee it. And we'll lift that left knee into the air on an inhale. As we exhale, stepping back to twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, step in front and twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Find your own rhythm with this. Nice and slow. This isn't a race. Option to expand the arms through the heart center into the throat chakra and upwards. So as we inhale here, our arms come open. As we exhale, that right arm lifts as we twist to the back. Inhale. Exhale. Option, not necessity. Adds a little bit of challenge. One more through. Beautiful. Inhale to center with the knee lifted. Exhale, step back to our lunge. Hands come to the heart. Move my blanket out of the way here. So option to put the back knee down or keep it lifted. You decide what feels best to you. My left knee is back. My left elbow is going to come to the outside of my thigh or the hand. You decide what feels best. And the right arm just simply reaches back. Zip everything to midline. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Slow, steady breath right here. Inhale back to center, arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart, and we step forward. Take a breath or two, feel the body. Notice the imbalance before we move to the other side. Often we don't notice the balances. We have a subtle awareness that is not in our consciousness until we feel the imbalance. It's one of those things where sometimes you don't know what decision you want to make until you have someone make the wrong decision for you or the decision you don't want, and then you can feel into it. This is the same kind of thing. Feel the imbalance so we can welcome the balance. Okay, ready for this challenge on the other side? Hands come to the heart. We lift the right leg into the air, inhaling. Exhale, step back, hands release, twisting to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Find your own rhythm. Move with your own breath. Option to expand the arms. Inhale, arms open as we lift the knee. Exhale, hands come down as we twist the leg behind us. Back to this wide, expansive start. Exhale, left arm lifts as we twist to the right. On the next inhale, we come back to center and we step to that lunge. Hands come to the heart. You decide, maybe the back knee is down and padded with that blanket. Maybe the knee is lifted. Inhale here, draw the belly up and in, and then we will twist to the left. Hook that arm, that elbow to the outside of the knee or the hand. And then the left arm reaches back. Lengthen through the crown of the head, zip everything to midline. Let the breath continue to move. That may be the hardest part of this whole thing. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms reach overhead as we lift the heart. Couple of breaths right here. Exhale, hands to the heart. Step forward, release to mountain pose. Feel the body settle. Notice the shift. Feel the difference. Beautiful. Feet stay hip distance apart here. Knees are softly bent. And as we inhale, our arms reach overhead, option to take that back bend by lifting the heart. Exhale, sweep the hands down and around. Hands lift behind us as we drop the top of our head. Inhale, expand to the sky. Exhale, sweep to the floor. So this is slow and steady. This is not a fast release or anything like that. This is a controlled expansion upwards and sweep downwards. Play with the subtlety of this movement. How can you make it more your own in your own body? Where are the little layers of expansion, of stretch that we can get a little deeper in? Rest if you need to. Maybe we stay standing for a couple of breaths. Maybe we stay in that forward fold for a couple of breaths. What are you ready to release? What no longer serves you? Inhale, reach to the sky. Hold the breath just for a moment. And then exhale, release. Let the hands release to the sides. Let the breath move gently. I love that. Beautiful. So now we get to do the same kind of thing, but on a horizontal plane. So from here, on an inhale, we open wide. As we exhale, we hug ourselves, one arm on top of the other. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch the cross of the arms. We just keep going. Maybe we close the eyes and feel the expansiveness of the chest, the comfort of that hug that we give ourselves. What are we ready to step into? What truth and alignment do we see more clearly now? Now is the time to move in that direction, to stand in your truth, to take up a lot of space in that collective, to guide the way. On the next inhale, expand the heart, hold here, reach through the fingertips, retain the breath, lift the pelvic floor. Exhale, release the hands, release the breath. Feel that goodness. Feel the energy swirling around in you. Think about how you felt at the beginning of the practice and notice how you feel now. Notice the difference. Really feed into that, play into that, use that to your advantage. This is the energy that will drive you forward into this next phase. Let's sit down, shall we? So this is where I will use a block to sit on. So I put the block between my knees and I just sit down on it. If you want to have a pillow or something underneath you or a bigger cushion, maybe a bolster, you can. If this doesn't feel good on your body, just find easy seated pose. That is just as good. From here, our hands will come to our thighs. And we move into spinal flexion. So as we inhale, we rock forward, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, rock back on the tailbone, scoop the belly, tuck the chin. Slow, steady movements here, letting this rise from the tailbone through every single vertebrae, all the way to the crown of the head. I am the innovator of change and progress. My creativity flows boundlessly. We are releasing those binds right here, right now. We are creating space for alignment to lead us into the next evolution of our existence. On the next inhale, rise tall, keep the spine steady, fill the body with breath, hold the breath, lift the pelvic floor and slightly tuck the chin. Pause in absolute stillness here. Exhale, release. Take a moment and notice. We will find 3 lion's breaths before we move to our final posture and then seated meditation. So again, I remain seated on the block, hands come to my thighs, and lion's breath is that deep, strong exhale with the mouth open, the tongue out, option to roll the eyes into the third eye or to the tip of the nose, depending on what you prefer. Tip of the nose is grounding, third eye is enlightening, bringing us into that higher, greater consciousness, just like we've been talking about with this full moon. So you decide. Let's take a full breath cycle before we begin. Let's inhale together. Exhale. Inhale. Open the mouth, release. Seal the lips and inhale. Open the mouth, release. Seal the lips, inhale. Last one, let it go. Inhale and breathe right here. Feel the body. This next one will move the prop from underneath us, and I want us to come into child's pose. If child's pose doesn't work, seated forward fold is just as good. So our knees are not too wide apart. interlace the fingers with the pointer fingers to the coming out. So it's Kali Mudra here. Belly draws in. As we inhale, we rise all the way up. Arms stay by our ears. As we exhale, we fold back into child's pose. And this is our final posture, bowing to ourselves, to that inherent knowledge, that inner wisdom that resides within each of us. Grounding us back to this earth, into our bodies. Letting this practice find a home within us. And again, slow and steady. This is not a race. We are taking our time here. Resting anytime you need to. Feel the power of your own wisdom, the power of transformation within you. You get to lead the way here. Inhale, reach to the sky, hold the breath in, pause, lift the pelvic floor, squeeze the arms to the ears. Exhale, release to child's pose, palms flat on the earth. Knees can spread wide. Take a moment to breathe in child's pose. And gently make our way up to a comfortable seated position. Returning to that seated meditation, left hand on the heart, right hand on the belly, or option to bring us into that lotus mudra, that Padma mudra. Place anywhere we would like within the body. Soften the gaze and close the eyes. And return to the breath. We will be in stillness for a full minute, if not a little bit longer. I am the innovator of change and progress. My creativity flows boundlessly, and I ignite change and progress effortlessly. I am the innovator of change and progress. My creativity flows boundlessly. Gently release the hands and make our way to Shavasana, finding a comfortable place to rest. finding supports in whatever means we would like. Feel free to remain seated if that feels best to your body. Whenever you are ready, gently release the breath, release the body. Close the eyes and step into rest. Feel free to remain in Shavasana for as long as you would like, enjoying this rest and regeneration. If you are ready to move out of rest, make your way to a comfortable seated position with as little effort as necessary. Palms press in front of our heart, lift our heart, take a breath in and out. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within guide your way on. Happy full moon, happy manifesting. Sat Nam, my friends.